How's everybody doing? What up, what up, what up, everybody? Wait a couple minutes, see who all comes in here. Connor, what's going on? How are you doing, buddy? Thank you for coming. Don't forget, everyone, hit the like button as you're coming in. I appreciate you coming on in, Connor. Just right now, just waiting. Going to my daughter's school. Just got done working, actually. About 2 hours ago. I think I stopped about 12:15. I'm trying to change that, Connor. I'm trying to get on a little bit more here. I'm going to start doing my lives periodically. The tough thing about it is I'm doing a ride share now. So I think so. I'm doing a ride share now, so it's one of these things where when I get somebody in the car, I kind of got to talk to them. I mean, you guys will be here. You guys can listen to everything, but there will be times where I'm talking to the customer and not you guys. So, like, I'm just not sure how that plays out on a live. If you guys would want that or not, I don't know. But today went pretty well. Work-wise, I made $137 and no, 141. But I did that in about 5 hours. So wasn't too bad. I had a lot going on though. We had a foundation company come to the house and take a look at what's going on with our foundation, why we keep having water pouring into our basement once a year when we get a real bad rain. And come to find out, we are now going to have to spend $75,000 to have our foundation and to make sure we get like a water system put in underground to make sure we don't have, what's going on, Blue Jay? Make sure we don't have anything leak again. And then me and my buddy Dan, who helped me build the basement, because when they do all this, they got to strip all the walls and everything in my basement. So me and my buddy Dan have to put what I like to call Humpty Dumpty back together again. And so for the company to come in and do all the work they're going to do is $75,000, and then me and him another $10,000 is going to get spent to put the basement back together. So it's going to be a total of $85,000 that we've already spent to get the house fixed, done what needs to be done, and put the house together. So I did 16 rides today. No, 18, sorry. I did 18 rides. I made 141, plus I got my bonus. Stay with your parents, and your brother will understand. He's your brother. He'll love you no matter what. No sleep. Oh, so you got a lot of exams, Blue Jay. So you're trying to stay up. Don't forget, everyone, hit the like button. That helps out a lot. Well, good luck on your exams, but you do need to get some sleep eventually. 100%. So I think I'm going to be doing my lives, Blue Jay and Connor and everybody. But I'm just not sure if they can be the hours long that we normally used to do, because I'll have customers in my car. And I'm not sure how they're going to react to it. So we're going to test it out, because you guys won't be able to see them. They'll be able to see them on the phone, but they'll see that they're not on camera. So, I mean, it could make for some good content, having them on, hearing them, me talking to them back and forth. hearing the conversation. I mean, it could be interesting for you guys. I'm not sure. Um, I just know as of right now, like I said, we'll try it out. And then I have $85,000 that we just spent to have all this work done. No, I can have it recorded. It's not an Uber thing. It's really a state by state thing, and I'm allowed to. And Uber gives you the option to actually record your rides while you're on them. So like, what's up, Larry? So it's not a problem that it's Uber. Shout out to Larry down at the bottom. It's more honestly of a preference of us because Virginia allows you to record. So it's really, will the customer feel comfortable? And if they do, that's cool. And if not, then that's how you know you gotta whether to do it or not do it. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll test it out for sure. And if not, then I'm not sure. Like maybe it's one of these things where I make all the money I need on rideshare early, and then just jump on DoorDash for just so we can do the lives for a couple hours a week. But we'll figure it out. So I know you've been doing your exams, Larry. Connor, when are you, or Blue Jay? Connor, when are you coming again? July, right? Yeah. Oh, you know, DoorDash for me ain't horrible. I just don't do it because I make more money doing Uber. I make it quicker. And more. But quicker. I'm sure I could make the same amount of money on DoorDash. It'll just take a year longer. Things are heating up in my market. Of course they are. When I'm going to pick up my kid, Uber sends me a message telling me, your area is fired up right now. Go make $10 plus a ride. But yeah, so that's what's going on with me. A lot of money being spent on the house, and then a lot of work will be done in the house. Not $85,000. So what is on the agenda? I hope you're home, Larry, relaxing. I would be at home relaxing, but I've got kids stuff to do now. So, and then, oh yeah, by the way, Larry, I think I told you again. We have everybody, me and my wife. I have an Alamo season pass, so I get 3 tickets for like $53. And basically all I gotta do is pay the taxes on the movie tickets. Well, tonight we're gonna go see the Mystery Movie at the Alamo. So basically it's a new, what's going on, Jonathan? So basically it's a new movie that hasn't come out yet. It's like 3 or 4 days early. And you won't know the movie you're watching until it actually comes on the screen. Like they don't tell you what it is. It literally is a mystery movie. We did it last month, and it was a movie called Drop. And it turned out to be really good. And it was a movie that we would have never seen on our own. So thankfully that's what happened there, so we could actually go be interested in seeing it, because we would have never just to see that just to see it. So that was pretty awesome. Jonathan, how are you doing today, bud? What do you got going on? Absolutely. The exams will be over before you know it. I've been through these with you before, Blue Jay. You come in here nervous and then you nailed them all. So I'm sure that's exactly what's going to happen again. You got the nerves, but you're going to kill it. So just make sure you take them serious, but don't freak out over it because you're going to nail it. You're smart. It's always good to be nervous. Nerves will keep you on your toes. Being too nervous could end up submarining you too. And so I get it. There's that happy balance between the nerves will keep you on your toes but keep you focused, and being too nervous and it'd be no good for you. So just kind of balance that out and you'll be fine. True. Like my daughter took an SOL the other day, and she was super nervous about it, but it's in her best subject, and it's a subject she knows everything about. So I'm sure she passed it, no problem. We won't find out until like the day before the last day of school, because they'll mail out the report cards in the mail, which I think I'm gonna owe my daughter $35. I'm parked right across the street from the school. I want to make sure I get on their property, but I don't want to be like the first one or two cars. I want to make sure I'm like on the property, but probably about the 10th car. This way I'm back a ways. This way if a car or two pulls up, I still won't be like all the way at the front of the line. You are home, right, Larry? I didn't see what you said. Okay. Oh, you know I'm going to hit it hard. I got 85,000 reasons why I got to hit it hard every day. That's just one of my days. That's not today, but that's one of the days that I worked. But like I said, I'm only working to $150. I'll do that 7 days a week. Like I told you, 2 days I'll pull 200, but everything else is 150 days. I just need $1,000. However that happens, I don't care. Santa, what's going on? How are you doing? Everybody, don't forget to hit the like button. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. 1,000 is going to have to be cool for me. It is anyways. But if I work anymore, I'll burn myself out. Because like I said, I can make $150 by 11, 12 o'clock sometimes. So there will be those days where I'm done early. And I could theoretically be done by in 5.5 hours. So those are the days I look forward to. Can't believe my kid's out of school here in about what's today's the 8th, 19th, 10 days, something like that. And then she's home for the summer. So that'll be fun too, to make sure I'm home with her more. Yeah. I mean, that's the plan. That is the plan. To be done as quick as possible, make the 150 and call it a day. I do think I'm gonna start making some more videos too, because if I'm able to have early days, then I'll have 2 or 3 hours a day to kind of edit and thumbnail. So I may be making a comeback for real. Not just lives, but with my videos too. So, I mean, we'll see. And the Nintendo Switch 2, I am waiting for that to come out. Can't wait for that. With all my games that I have with it. Mario Party, Donkey Kong, Mario Kart. Yeah, you do. Can't help you if they're just sitting in queue. About 4 more cars go in here. I'll go in here and park on the property. Well, I mean, that's good. I think they'll do you better on YouTube, though. I mean, a little more upside on YouTube. Thank you for everyone who's liked the live. I appreciate that. So I've stopped doing DoorDash for the most part because I make more. I'm not going to say I make more money on Uber. Now, time to money and all that, how quickly and everything, yeah, I make more money on Uber. But I do it in a quicker form, and it's so not as much, I say, stress as doing rideshare. I do about the same deliveries to rides. Like I do about 20 rides a day, and if I remember correctly, I was doing 20 deliveries on DoorDash a day. But the money is a lot different on 20 rides to 20 food deliveries. I mean, yes, I had great days on DoorDash where you get a catering order and get some shopping ones, and you could hit, if I remember correctly, about 150 by 3 or 4 o'clock, and it was great. I remember we did lives on here with Investor and everything, and we'd work until 3 o'clock, and I'd be at like 150, 160. But I'm at 150, 160 by like 11 to 12 o'clock. 200 by 1 to 2 o'clock. We're doing Uber rides. So it's just better. And that's why. But I have done DoorDash. I have, like, if I get bored, or not bored, if I make my money and I get a feeling that, hey, maybe you should go do a 1 or 2 deliveries just to see if we can get. I had that happen about 2 weeks ago. I declined the first 2 that came to me because they were horrible. But the third one was a $30 Sally Beauty Supply, hair supply place for 9 miles. So, like, I have the version 2 of DoorDash in my market, so like I can be at a very low acceptance rate and still be at platinum. I'm at 63%. Yeah. I mean, food deliveries, depending on where you're at, are either you got a couple different variables, because I have a buddy in Petersburg, Larry, who's in the chat, who his food delivery, it's a mixture of he has a town that's cheap, and they're not as busy, at least right now, or at least a couple weeks ago they weren't. And in some places that matters, like your percent and everything, it really matters 100%. And as it should matter. But people don't want to do $4 for 2 miles. Like, that's just what it is with food. Now, for me, I will do a $4.50 ride share for 2 miles. But what I'd have with my market tips pretty well. So, like, I'll give you the example. If I get 20 rides, 7 of those are tipped. $5, $3, $2, $1, $5, $6, whatever. But 7 of those 20 are tipping. And that's a good amount. For rideshare, That's a good amount. And then I do surge rides. So I get some surge rides. And with those, even with those baby ones, I can do 6 or 7 of those in 1 hour. And that's like anywhere from like $25 to $33 that hour. So there's just a little bit, even with a small pay, there's the upside on rides that they can tip you and it'll pay more. With DoorDash, when you see it's $4 for 2 miles, that's what it is. It's $4 for 2 miles. There is no upside to that. It is what it is. And yes, I know, there can be that one out of every 150 to 200 deliveries that they tip you more after. 100%. I've gotten a couple of those, but they're not very often. And so therefore, that's why I said there's no upside with doing a $4, $4.50 for 2 miles on DoorDash, but there is some upside doing it on rideshare. You just got to make sure if you do that, it's very small miles, very small. And yeah, like that right there, 16 for $220, I believe that says it on the top of the screen. 5 of those were surge rides. And if I remember correctly, they were like a 13, a 10, a 725, a 525, and like a 350. And the rest of these were baby rides. They were $4.59, $5 for 2, even 3 miles. They were $8 for 4 miles, $7.69 for 4.1 mile. And before you know it, tip, tip, oh, $6 tip. And before I know it, I've got 7 tips, and it's tipped 26 bucks, 25 bucks. And it's like, oh shit, I would have been at 150, but those 25 bucks that came in, 175. Oh yeah, it was a good thing to go through 7 $5 rides in an hour. I made $35 that hour. So like, there's multiple ways to look at it. I would always suggest, if people who are doing surge rides, do your surge rides. But when there's no surge rides, do baby rides as filler, just to keep you kind of busy, just to keep you on your toes until your surge comes back in. Like with me, here's when my surge goes. My surge comes out at about 4:30 in the morning. So I go out at about 5. I mean, I'm already out at 5 o'clock. So I'll get surge from 5 a.m. to 7, or no, 6:30, sorry. And that surge can be anywhere from $5 to $25. I'll get to do 3 at the most. But those 3 I do with those between $5 and $25 surge, I will make, honestly, about 45 to 50 bucks in 3 rides in about an hour. So after I make that 40, 50 bucks, then I let the little, what I call filler rides happen, because my surge doesn't come back again. At best case scenario, baby surge will come in at about 11 until 12 o'clock. After that, my surge doesn't come back until 3 o'clock. Now that surge comes back, that does come back at something real nasty. Like, I'll show you, like, try to show you some surge. Like, that's some baby surge. That comes back 11 or 12. I'm trying to see here. I guess I don't have any, like, the big surge on here. But yeah, okay, there you go. You see that, $18, $16, $12. Like, that happens at 5 to 6:30, and that also happens at 2:30, 3 o'clock until 4:30. So I know I have about 5 hours where I'm going to have no surge. So I pick off the babies. But this is why, truth be told, my days can end at like 11 or 12 o'clock. And then if I feel good and I want to, I can sit at my house, and then at 2:30, I can look at my phone and see the surge about to come in, sit at the house, turn it on. Once I see the surge, go chase it down, and then I'm off to the races for an hour. And then I can go back home. And that's if I want to do the afternoon surge. Depending on how my day went and everything else, depending on what I've got going on at the house, I might not just come out. I can call 150 or 160, whatever it is I stop at, by 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock sometimes, and just call it a day. And for someone like me who has to basically rebuild my basement after it gets destroyed in a good way, because they're going to basically completely destroy my basement to put guttering in the ground so I never have a leak again. My foundation doesn't get screwed up. And there's some issues with someone before I bought the house built a spare room with no support under it. So they're going to fix that too. So my spare time will be spent in my basement, bringing it back to life, hanging drywall up. We're building a bedroom downstairs. We're going to have to rebuild the bathroom that we just put in. We're going to put down another floor. So like me and my buddy are going to, in spare time, are going to put the basement back together. So do you see Driving with Spice? Just curious, do you see a surge like that? Because as you can see that $20 one right there, 16, 18. You see the 12. The biggest surge I've ever had is $30. The biggest surge I've ever seen in my market was 50. But the biggest surge I've ever personally captured was 30. And I remember, and I've gotten that about 5 or 6 times. But the standing quote, the running order with a $30 surge is, it'll pay me $35 for 2.4 miles or 3 miles, but about 34 to 35 bucks. No, 35 for 2.3 or 3 miles. My buddy Larry, we talk on the phone almost every day, and he does the same thing I do. So we work together, just talk to each other on the phone, and I'll be telling him I got $34 for 3 miles. He's like, good God, man, if I could get just half of that at my town. And he does. He gets some good surge. He has his moments where he gets some pretty good surge too. So, yeah, I'm just curious if your market does the same thing as my market, like blow up with the surge spice. Yeah, it is pretty cool. Like, I take advantage of it when I'm out and I'm able to. I take 100% advantage of when it does come. Because when you do, and then also where it helps is that right there is Uber. That's for rideshare. Yeah, that is Uber. That's the surge on my Uber map. That is Uber app. Uber rideshare. Because once you sign up for the rideshare, that's when you start to see that surge. You don't see it with just Uber Eats. But you can use it for Uber Eats. You can use that surge for Uber Eats. But technically, you only get to see that if you unlock the rideshare part of Uber. Yeah, well, of course, downtown LA is booming and busy, real busy. Yeah, see, I live in a little old town in Virginia, so I mean, it's not completely little. My city has about 34,000 people population, and in the county they have about 100,000. So I have about 134,000. Yeah, put on the ride share, and you'll start to see surge when, not all the time, but sometimes. Oh, absolutely. Exercise is good. Like, I'm in the midst of losing a lot of weight. I've lost 20 pounds in like 40 days now. So I understand about that, get my exercise in and everything else. Yeah, because there's like no restrooms because of the situation down there. They don't use any like public restrooms. in a lot of those places. Yeah, that would be a problem, Spice. That would absolutely be a problem. Because, see, that's what it kind of happened to me. Not a quick bad bladder, like weak bladder like yours, but what I found out doing only rideshare is when you're doing food delivery, you can always use the bathroom because you're always going somewhere with the bathroom. But when you're doing rideshare, you got to pause so you can use the bathroom because you're never at a place usually where you can use the bathroom. I think only a handful of times have I taken someone to a store where I could use the bathroom too. So I appreciate you guys being here. I really do. If you guys are subscribed, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much, Spice. That'll happen when doctors tell you, yo, you need to lose some weight because your blood pressure's too high and you're gonna end up having a stroke or something. So listen to the doctor. I've lost 20 pounds so far, and I guess I have a goal of 40 pounds total. I'm at 252 right now. I'd like to get to about 230. So once I can get to that mark, I'll be happy, and then it'll just be maintaining it from that moment on. So you do Uber Eats. I'm assuming you do DoorDash. Are those the only apps you do, Spice? You can do Spark. I've heard Roadie, WhatsApp, for like catering orders and stuff. Because in my market, the two best ones right now are Uber Rides, as long as you have, like I said, this surge, and Spark, doing the Walmart deliveries. Like those are your two in my market. Those are the two big heavyweights with making the money that you need and going. And I've been working on DoorDash since 2019, and I was doing DoorDash and Postmates when I first started. 100% it does. 100%. I feel much better. All the way around, I feel much better. But yeah, so I started doing gig work before COVID. And then like 3 months into it, COVID happened. And not that COVID was a good thing, but I made so much money during COVID that was probably some of my best money making until I started rideshare. Now my rideshare is probably about almost the equivalent of what I made with COVID. The only difference was during COVID, there wasn't no one on the road. So like it was like I was on the road with like 4 other people, and that was it. And then gas was pretty cheap then. It was, I think we got all the way down to $1.80 a gallon. Yeah, I understand that. That's some of the bad thing. Here's the thing. I would say this. I don't think people would have too much of a problem with DoorDash's rules if they didn't see such BS orders. If they didn't see, if the pay was better, I'll say that. If the pay was better, it would make it easier to handle dealing with some of the rules and everything else. Now, again, in my market, it's not horrible. It's actually, my market's probably still one of the better DoorDash markets in the country. That being said, it doesn't mean it's good. It just means it's one of the better ones. I mean, it's okay. It's not good. It's not great. It's not fabulous. It's okay. But there's not a lot of markets right now, from what I hear. You could say that DoorDash, gig drivers saying, you know what, I love my DoorDash market. because they don't. That's why a lot of people are doing multi-apping. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Spark. I mean, anything. And to the point, I was doing Spark just so I didn't have to do DoorDash. And thank God Spark, the Walmart app, paid gangbusters here. So, like, it got me away from doing DoorDash for a while. Because DoorDash can just piss you off, if I'm going to be honest with you. Oh, did you do notary? Yeah. Yeah, because I had to actually have something notarized during COVID too. And yeah, that was fun. But I got them to, it was a mobile notary. Then, so yeah, that was fun. $100%, because you knew everybody else was cooped up in the house during COVID, so it was nice to be out with people. And I don't know about you, but like especially like on the grocery side of things, it was nice to be able to help people get their groceries to their house. Now I'm not going to say, oh, it was so great to get someone their Big Mac, because yeah, that's not important, but it was pretty cool for me anyways. It was semi-rewarding to know I was getting people their groceries during COVID and them not wanting to come out for whatever reason, whether they had medical history that weakened their immune or whatever. And also it didn't hurt that they were paying $30 an order on Postmates for Walmart deliveries. So because that was before Spark, so you would do the deliveries for Walmart was on the Postmate app. So that was pretty cool. Not a lot of people know what Postmates is, because a lot of people I talk to started doing gig work after Postmates went out of business, because Postmate was bought by Uber, and Uber bought Postmates for their Walmart contract. And Uber ended up taking a bath and losing billions of dollars, because like 3 months after Uber bought Postmates for the Walmart contracts, Walmart said, hey, we're going to our own delivery app, Spark. So that like destroyed the reason why they spent all that money for the company Postmates. It made that null and void, and it took a long time for Uber to kind of bounce back financially from that. I mean, it looks like they're not doing as bad as they were, but even now, I think they suffer from that, because I think they'd be further ahead if that never happened. Oh, it always made me mad. Like, and if it didn't make me, and that was the thing also, like I got tired of having to justify, hey, at least I'm getting paid $1 a mile. At least I'm getting paid $1 a mile. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts sometimes. And look, man, I'll be the first one to tell you, DoorDash did a lot of good for me. That DoorDash started going downhill when they went to the tier program and when they let anybody start doing catering jobs. Because before that, it was an invite-only email, and I got that thanks to COVID. I was within 3 months of doing DoorDash. They sent me an email and let me be a part of the catering program. At the time, it was called DoorDash Drive, and it was actually on this thing. It became something different later. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's awesome, Spice. That's awesome. So, like, I think with DoorDash trying to tinker with their system, in a lot of ways, ruined it in a lot of places. Now, there might be places where it helped. All right, brother. So yeah, I mean, there might be places where this tier program or where they tinkered with their system. It might be a place where it helps. Very much possible, but it hurt here. And the catering thing was a game changer in a bad way. Now, for people who didn't have access to catering, it did them fine. They were like, yes, I can finally get access to catering. So for them, it was great. And I'm happy for them. But for me, was not good because it cut into my action. Man, sometimes I do have to be greedy, at least greedy feeling. And it 100% affected me. And I was naive. I didn't think it would. I thought, oh, well, you know, the OGs of the catering program will still get taken care of. They'll just feather in other people. Nope, they just completely forgot about me. So, I mean, that's what happened there. Anybody else here? Yeah, I'm just sitting at the school right now, waiting to get my kid. I got to take her to therapy. So I do think I'm going to get back on once I drop her off at therapy for like 1 or 2 rides. Just to keep me busy so I'm not sitting at her therapist's office for an hour just waiting on her. So that's what I'll do there. Yeah, she's out of school here soon. She's gonna be happy about that. She'll be out for the summer. We got a vacation coming up in July, going to Jellystone Park. It's pretty cool. I want to see what the surge, if it's still surging in my town. It should be, because it's about that time. And it is, just to show you. That's an $8.50 surge right there. So, it's exactly what it normally does. It surges at this time. How's everybody doing today? Drop a like below. Say what's up.